Jeff Bezos may love rockets and yachts. Elon Musk loves rockets too, but cars shaped his path. His taste runs from humble to insane. His garage tells that story, piece by piece. It looks like a secret museum with a big price tag. People say the collection sits around $150 million. That figure makes sense when you add what's known, what's likely, and what market prices look like today. The point is simple. This is a collection with history, tech, and myth in every bay. We start where the legend begins. In the 1990s, Musk bought a used 1978 BMW 320i. It cost little and broke often. A wheel even came off while a Zip2 intern drove it. He learned from that car that function beats flash when you are building something from zero. Years later, he still talks about those early days and the scrappy lesson they taught him. That old 3 Series sits at the foundation of this vault. It is not worth much in money terms. It is priceless as a chapter in the story. With a bonus from his first startup, he reached for a dream. He bought a 1967 Jaguar E-Type, a classic roadster with long lines and romance in its shape. It was gorgeous and temperamental. He once joked it behaved like a bad girlfriend, beautiful yet costly in time and attention. Many collectors feel the same way about old Jaguars. They break, but they sparkle. The E-Type's value now depends on condition and spec. Good Series 1 cars bring serious 6-figure sums in auctions. Musk's example, if kept right, fits that bracket. Then came the moonshot for the road. In 1999, young Elon took delivery of a McLaren F1. It was one of the finest driver's cars ever made. The V12 screamed, the center seat felt like a fighter jet, and the build quality was pure race car. He famously crashed it on a Silicon Valley road with Peter Thiel as a passenger. No one was hurt, but the story spread fast. Reports say he repaired it later, out of pocket, and moved on. Today, a clean McLaren F1 can fetch well north of $20 million. If he still held one in any form, it would anchor the valuation of this whole vault. Not every lesson came from speed. One came from everyday struggle. Musk owned an Audi Q7 in the years before the Model X. The third-row access bothered him. He wanted doors that worked in tight spaces and helped parents buckle kids without folding seats. That pain point pushed his team toward the double-hinged, upward-lifting Falcon Wing doors. The idea was simple: make a family car feel magical and practical in a narrow garage. The Q7, in other words, helped shape a Tesla. That influence shows how personal experience can bend design. Great collectors often keep a thread to the past. Musk received a 1920 Ford Model T as a gift. That car reminds him that mass mobility changed the world once before. It is slow, simple, and vital to history. People who visit that bay in the vault see the seed of modern industry. A Model T is not expensive next to supercars, but it is a marker of respect for Ford's assembly line and the idea of scaling. In recent days, he even tipped his hat to Ford's place in that story. The message is clear. Innovation stands on old shoulders. He has talked about Porsches as well. A 997 Generation 911 Turbo showed up in his life as a daily driver in the mid-2000s. It fit the fast but usable box and gave him a taste for tight engineering. Whether he still owns it is less clear. Collections evolve and cars move in and out. What matters is the signal. He leans toward machines that blend speed with purpose. If a 997 Turbo sits under the lights in that vault, it would be there as a reminder of balance. It is also a statement that the passion for driving predates Tesla and lives alongside it. Now, the single strangest piece in the room steals every eye. It is the 1976 Lotus Esprit submarine car from the James Bond film, The Spy Who Loved Me. Fans call it Wet Nelly. Musk bought it at auction for just under $1 million in 2013. He once mused about fitting it with an electric powertrain. The idea was classic Musk: turn a movie prop into a real amphibious machine. The plan stayed a thought experiment, but the car stayed in the collection. As a piece of cinema history, it is rare and iconic. As a symbol, it shows how a story can shape vision. The vault also includes Teslas that matter for milestones, not just serial numbers. The early Roadster proved an electric sports car could be real. The Model S redefined range and software in a sedan. The Model X brought doors that wow and packaging that set a new bar. The Model 3 unlocked scale. The Model Y turned that scale into global dominance. Those are not rumors, those are recorded leaps. If you imagine rows for firsts and breakthroughs, the Tesla bays look like a storyboard of an industry change. One Tesla sits in a vault you cannot enter. It floats through space and circles the sun. In 2018, SpaceX launched Musk's cherry red Roadster on the first Falcon Heavy. A mannequin in a suit named Starman rides in the driver's seat. It is both a test payload and a piece of pop art. Astronomers even confused it for a near-Earth object during a recent sighting, then corrected the record. As odd as it sounds, that roadster remains part of this story. It is a car as a message. It says, "Aim farther." So how does the math reach a 9-figure tag? You start with the verified Bond Lotus around $1 million. You add early Teslas with provenance, which carry collector premiums over time. You stack on classics like the E-Type and Model T. What about newer toys inside the vault today? Think Cybertruck prototypes and early production units. Think special trim Model S plaid cars with track-pack hardware. Think development mules that mark turning points in engineering. These do not carry public auction prices yet. Their value is part historical and part brand lore. To a collector or a museum, they are gold. To the company, they are the design DNA you can touch. The culture of the collection is also clear. Musk likes machines that bend rules. He respects icons that broke barriers. He enjoys design that solves a real pain point. He collects symbols of scale, like the Model T. He collects symbols of possibility, like the Bond subcar. He keeps reminders of grit, like the 320i that failed and kept going. He holds proof that speed can be purpose, like the McLaren and the Porsche. When you view the vault this way, it looks less like a pile of cars and more like a map of ideas. Price tags change over time. Market swings drive value in both directions. A McLaren F1 could rise again on the next headline sale. The E-Type could grow as Perfect Series 1 examples become rarer. The Porsche 997 Turbo could get a boost as analog feel cars get hotter. The Bond Lotus will always have film gravity. Tesla prototypes and early VINs will rise as the company's history cements. If you revisit this vault in 10 years, the total could sit far above today's estimate. The key is provenance. These pieces come with stories only one person can tell. Call it a secret vault if you like. Call it a rolling museum if you prefer. Either way, it is a story told on wheels. It is personal history, product history, and car history in one place. It shows how a builder thinks when no one is watching. It shows how taste and strategy meet. And it proves that a garage, when built with purpose, can be more than storage. It can be a map of the future, drawn in metal, rubber, code, and dreams. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Elon Musk's jaw-dropping car collection, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell for more epic stories on wheels and innovation.